Welcome back to the Sooner Surge for another early signing day edition. Signed, sealed, delivered. This time it's PWO Ace Hodges out of Casady High School in Oklahoma. Uh, PWO, like I mentioned, plays both ways for Casady, and one of the more interesting recruitments of this entire process as he committed in the middle of the summer. No one really even noticed it. But again, went to the Brent Venables football camp, got the offer as a PWO, and they even gave him the option if he wanted to play offensive line or defensive line. And when I talked to him, he said it wasn't even a shot against the coaches. He just would prefer defensive line. Really enjoys his relationship with both Todd Bates and Coach Biedenbow, but defensive line's where he wants to play for the future. And a PWO that already knows what's at hand, loves the University of Oklahoma, was at as many games as possible this year, trying to solidify the rest of this 24K class. And yeah, going to be PWO defensive lineman for the Sooners.
Yeah, and if you watch any or look at any of his story, there's been some articles written about his commitment. He did. He had the option of offense and defense at the camps he was at, where they kind of watched him on both sides of the ball. Uh, and defense is where the decision's been made to play him. But of course, things change over time. He was a center. Uh, if something were to happen and they needed one, it's not like they couldn't move him. And I'm sure he'd be willing because that's the kind of guy he is. If you look at any of just his past, he's played. There's a quote of him where he talks about how he always plays with a chip on his shoulder. He's been told time and time again, coming from a school like Casady, a 2A school, that he is not going to make it to the big level. Okay, and here he is. He's at the University of Oklahoma. He's signed today as a Sooner. I like everything about Ace Hodges, starting with his name, but everything about him. I love the chip on his shoulder aspect. He's got size. He's a physical player. He talks about another article I read. He talked a lot, Hunter, about he's always trying to perfect his physical skills, his mental skills, and even his spiritual skills. Gives credit to God. Just really a great dude. Someone you really want in your program.
Yeah, and again, playing at Casady, they're not even OSSAA yet. That won't happen until next year. They're playing in a different league. So really just everything kind of not in his favor. He's not playing at the big time school. He's playing at a small private school in Oklahoma City. And to get that offer, when I talked to him, he was like, it's not about the offers. Like a lot of guys will post every offer that you get. It's like it doesn't matter. Like he said that's part of the reason why he committed like pretty much immediately. It wasn't immediately, but really quickly after getting that PWO offer because he's grown up an OU fan, grown up dreaming of playing at Oklahoma. And now that that's a possibility, even though it's still a lot of work that has to be put in to make it a reality as he's coming in as a PWO, he's fully aware of that. And then at Casady, he's playing both sides pretty much every single snap. Early in the season, he did not miss a single snap, playing over 130 snaps as a center and defensive tackle. That's impressive. I don't care what level of high school football you're playing, not even in an OSSAA. That's hard to do for anybody, especially an offensive defensive lineman. Like to put in that much work and also wrestle. So you see that aspect in his game as well. Just again, a program guy, I would say. Like this is the
Oh,
guy that the whole soul mission, everything that Brent Venables is trying to build at Oklahoma, Ace Hodges fits all of that.
yeah, it's a perfect match. Uh, it may be the most perfect match of all the guys that have signed when you want to just match up beliefs and everything. And you mentioned wrestling. Uh, some of the best defensive players ever in high school football are wrestlers because there is a mental willpower that you must have and possess because it's you on the mat versus one other dude, and there's no one there. There's no one else there. It's between you and you. And I think that is going to also help Ace Hodges as he tries to get some playing time. And honestly, I think he's going to push some of these other young guys. He will be an asset to this team because of those things that you mentioned, Hunter. He's going to be there. He's going to be an encourager to the others. and he loves the university. And I'll take guys who love the university over guys who are 5-star, just care for the university a little. And Ace Hodges loves the university. And like you said, he may be one of the toughest guys in this class, playing both ways, wrestling and everything that he's done. So I am very excited about Ace Hodges. He's going to play on the defensive side of the ball on the interior, but again, he's going to put in work probably like no other.
Yeah, you look at he has an offensive line trainer, trains with Trench Mafia, also trains with the defensive line guru, as Danny Okoye called him, Christian Chief Littlehead. So you see the amount of work he puts in off the field as well. The wrestling. Again, wrestling for offensive line, defensive line is the one sport I think that's the best other sport to play at those positions because of just the amount of again, it's a lot of sometimes offensive line, defensive line, you're one on one. It's what you are in wrestling. Like, and then also just the physical aspect of the sport and all of that. Uh, but again, his off the field stuff, constantly training with these guys because he knows he can get better. He knows that he's not the big name. He knows that he's not the 5-star defensive lineman. He's a PWO going to Oklahoma. And so continuing to put in that work with two of the best trainers in the state of Oklahoma at Trench Mafia and at with Coach Littlehead.
Yeah, Coach Littlehead is, I don't know how many guys at OU now he's coached, but there's a lot in this class that he has coached. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, probably 4 to 6.
Yeah, this class, yeah, Virgin Kaiser, Ace Hodges, Danny Okoye, David Stone. So that's 4. Like
Yeah.
that's big time. Like for all from one trainer. Uh, and again, you talk to any of them, like nothing but high things to say about Coach Littlehead. Yeah, he's always with them on visits. You saw him quite a bit with Danny Okoye this year, Ace Hodges. So it's really cool to see him with his guys. I think there was one picture. I don't know if he got all 4 together, but I know he got all 3 for one of the visits with Virgin, Ace, and Danny. So really cool for them all to be able to experience a game day together,
Yeah.
especially with the amount of work they put in together off the field.
Yeah. And look, uh, I'm not the smartest guy. I'll never say I am, but it's not rocket science, Hunter. You put in the work, usually you reap the rewards. Ace Hodges has put in the work and he has reaped the reward today as he has signed PWO at the University of Oklahoma. Super stoked to see Ace Hodges in the Crimson and Cream in the SEC conference. Congrats to Ace Hodges. Thanks for watching our videos. If you haven't subscribed, do so. Till next time, Boomer.